Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into my college football week number 9 picks and predictions, part 2. Guys, I did the same thing last week. Of course, on Monday, I release my predictions on all the ranked matchups, but because there are so many great college football games and it's hard to get to all of them, I like doing a part 2 on some of the, smaller matchups. Also, very good matchups. Not, you don't need 2 ranked teams or 1 ranked team for it to be a good matchup. A lot of these games are really intriguing to look at it. And we begin on a Thursday night at 7:30, and we've got a very solid Louisiana team taking on Southern Miss. Both of these teams very evenly matched. Both play really good defense. Louisiana, 2 weeks ago, totally dominated Marshall as 10-point underdogs. I believe they were on a bye week last week. Southern Miss has had a really good year. But guys, I really do trust Louisiana football. I trust their defense. I think they win on a Thursday night at 7:30, Halloween weekend. We know Louisiana, 24-19. Southern Miss 1-point favorite. This game is basically a pick-em. FPI gives Louisiana a 51% chance to win. So lower scoring, really good defense. These are 2 under-the-radar teams. But Louisiana, I'm thinking about their momentum that they had after they beat Marshall. Very good on defense. I've got them winning that game. This is a potential Friday night Halloween weekend shootout. It's East Carolina and BYU. Guys, BYU has a good offense, but they've got a horrific defense. Their season is completely tanked due to how bad their defense is. East Carolina shocked everyone last week. They beat UCF and only allowed 13 points. I think it was an aberration, guys. Let's be real. East Carolina really isn't that good on defense, but this is an 8 o'clock Eastern matchup. And I do have a shootout, and I will take BYU to win this game. I don't feel confident about it, but I do like the over 60, or I think it's been bet up to 62, but I still like the over. Both of these teams, bad defenses, they can both score. We're talking about a high-scoring game. Maybe BYU scores a touchdown late to pull away and win 40-33. Moving on to the Saturday slate, this is a noon matchup, actually 11 a.m. Central in Iowa, I believe. It's Oklahoma at Iowa State. Both of these teams coming off a bye. Oklahoma 1-point favorites. But guys, I'll tell you what, pretty much every model says that Iowa State's going to win it. I would take it with a grain of salt. Iowa State does not have a great offense, but I do think their offense and their quarterback can do enough. It's almost like Iowa State is due for a win. I believe they're 0-4 in conference. Oklahoma, on the other hand, is an impossible team to bet on. You can't gauge them at all. They'll get blown out one week, then they'll put up 700 yards of offense the next week. Dylan Gabriel is solid. They have good weapons. I love Marvin Mims. But Iowa State at home, you've got a good defense. You can win this game. You've got just enough offense. You would think Iowa State would get their first in-conference win and beat Oklahoma at home. Next, we've got a MAC matchup. It's Toledo trying to get back on track. They're headed to Eastern Michigan. And guys, Eastern Michigan is horrible. I've seen Eastern Michigan a few games. They've gotten blown out by Northern Illinois. Toledo right now, -7. I think Toledo bounces back and wins this one by 20 points. They've got an elite offense. They still have a good defense. Yes, they lost to Buffalo. But when you actually look at that game, they were winning that game into the third quarter by, I believe it was 20-7 or something like that. So I will take Toledo to bounce back in the MAC. They're still going to make the MAC Conference Championship. I still think they win it over Buffalo. They will beat Eastern Michigan and cover the 7-point spread. Little overreaction by people betting on Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan, they've been streaky, but overall Toledo's the way more consistent team in my opinion. Next, we've got a weird 2:30 matchup. It's Rutgers traveling to Minnesota. And guys, I don't see how points are going to be scored in this game. Right now, Minnesota trending -14.5. I would imagine they got good news on Tanner Morgan possibly playing if the line keeps going in their direction, because I feel like it was -13. Maybe it was always -14, but I feel like Minnesota's gotten significant money. I love the under. Personally, I kind of think maybe Tanner Morgan doesn't play. The under's a lock. But again, We know what Rutgers wants to do. I said this earlier in the week. Rutgers, they want to play low-scoring ball control games. They want to run the ball. Minnesota also wants to run the ball. Neither of these teams are capable of throwing for even 200 yards. So it's like, you would think it's just going to be hard to see many points scored in this game. Maybe Minnesota gets to 24. Maybe they score a bit more, but Rutgers does have a solid defense. Minnesota's going to win this game, but their season has been completely tanked the past few weeks. The loss to Illinois pretty much ruined it, and then they got thrashed by Penn State in a game they had no chance of winning during the whiteout. We've got a 3 o'clock matchup, Old Dominion and their beautiful logo, traveling to Georgia State. Guys, I'm going to keep it short and simple. Old Dominion is simply the better team. They are 4-point underdogs. Old Dominion will win this football game. I've got it at 34-25, and that's just my opinion. I know it's a thing where Old Dominion's on the road. Georgia State's not horrible, but Old Dominion this year has been better. They're just better straight up. I would make this game a pick'em, and I would still pick Old Dominion to win this game. Next, we've got Northwestern at Iowa. Iowa listed as 11-point favorites. And guys, all right, obviously that's a joke, but it is mind-blowing to me to see the general public bet the over-under on this game up. I think it's up to 37. I would not advise people to bet the over on Iowa games at all. Northwestern has a horrible offense. Iowa has a horrible offense. I don't see, even if the over hits, I feel like you're going to be sweating it. As opposed to if we take the under, we could very easily see a 10-7 game, a 9-7 game, something like that. It was just shocking to me because originally, apparently the game opened at 31. Then it immediately got bet up to 35. So I'm like, I'll take the under. Now it's up to like 37. I don't know who's betting this game up. It's just like, you look at Iowa, we've seen it several times this year where Vegas sets the over-under in the mid-30s and the under easily hits. Easily. And now you've got a team like Northwestern who can't do anything on offense. Iowa's at home. They've got a great defense. I don't see Northwestern scoring. Maybe you think Iowa's going to get 3 defensive touchdowns or something, but you can't predict that. So I'm going to take the under in this game. Realistic, it's not going to be 4-3. If it was 4-3, that would be great for college football. It would be. It'd be amazing. But I would say something like 16-10, 16-7, Iowa wins. I mean, Iowa I could see them covering by shutting out Northwestern like 24-0 to cover the 11 because Northwestern is horrific, but I don't know, guys. Who knows with a game like that? Literally the polar opposite. Baylor at Texas Tech. This should be a higher scoring game. Guys, right now, Baylor is 2.5-point underdogs. Trust Baylor football. Trust Baylor football. I know I've gone against Texas Tech. I need to show them more respect. They played a great game this past week, but I am going against them again here. Baylor looked great against Kansas. Kansas scored some garbage time points. It's whatever. Baylor football is back on track. They will win this game on the road. You look at the FPI, you look at all the advanced analytics, all the computer models. They say Baylor's a top 20 team. They're going to get this win. And obviously, they're going to win this outright, so they'll easily cover 38-30. And actually, you know what? I think the over-under on this game is 69 points. 48-58. Well, I guess I have the under now. I think I did pick the over, but now I'm saying it's going to go. Yeah, that was dumb. So maybe it'll be 38-35 in the over hits. But that is a tough number to get to because Texas Tech actually has been playing good defense. So we will see. Next, we've got South Alabama traveling to Arkansas State. So the reason I included this one is because I think South Alabama, who currently is an 11-point favorite, I believe they're going to lose this game outright. And I love South Alabama. I've got so much respect for them. But when you see upsets like this, normally it's a good team with a bad offense on the road. South Alabama is a good team with a bad offense, and they're on the road. And Arkansas State has shown the ability with James Blackman, the transfer quarterback from FSU, to score some points. They could make it interesting, and I do think they win this game outright against South Alabama. It's just a feel, it's a vibe based off of the teams that tend to get upset. Yes, South Alabama has a really good defense. I understand. I totally get it. But I'm trusting Arkansas State, I love their logo. South Alabama's logo, unfortunately to me, it looks like an obese panther. That's what it looks like to me, but I do love their abbreviation, USA, right? That's an amazing abbreviation, but I will take Arkansas State to win that game. Next, we've got North Texas traveling to Western Kentucky. This game was built to be a shootout. How about ESPN FPI giving Western Kentucky an 86% chance to win? I was surprised it was that high, but guys, we love the over 70. We love it. North Texas, entertaining, underrated. This game will go over. Western Kentucky and North Texas both played games last week that went under. They're both due for offensive explosions. It will happen. It's Halloween weekend. That's just another reason why this game will go over. Next, UAB at FAU. Guys, FAU's offense sucks. UAB, they're trending right now, -5.5. That game opened at 5. There's big money on UAB, and for good reason. They will easily cover the 5.5-point spread on the road. UAB, at the beginning of the season, there was talk of them going undefeated. They lost a few games. Everyone overreacted. This is still a really, really good team. They will crush FAU. FAU has a horrible offense. UAB wins this game and covers the 5. And then the final game I want to do, it is Arizona State traveling to Colorado. And I didn't include this in my best bets, but because I can't recommend betting on Colorado because they're so bad. But guys, if you look at the forecast, a lot of snow, things like that, I think this Arizona State team in snow, in cold weather, to me, they're just going to quit. And Colorado at home, they're actually not horrific. They had the game against California. You could be looking at a really low-scoring game due to the elements that Colorado potentially wins. Of course, Arizona State's going to be 13-point favorites because Colorado has been so epically bad. But guys, remember, Arizona State right now is 2-5. Colorado's 1-6. They're not that different. I know Colorado's gotten blown out, but they do have a good home field advantage. Arizona State playing in cold weather. They're going to be miserable. Their season is already over. They fired their head coach in week 3. I think Colorado is a decent bet, and also the under would be the play. So, guys, those are just kind of part 2 of my college football week number 9 picks and predictions. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.